If you're new to this, you might be asking yourself the question, what is going on regarding the Candace Owens thing? Help me with this. Fill me in. Fill in the blanks. I'm new here. Excuse me. I want to know. I want to understand. Fill me in. What is happening here? What did she say that was so wrong? Why is everybody jumping on her? I'm new to this. I don't understand. Explain this to me. And it's a great question. And you have to go back and ask what's going on. Because she is in danger. And the reason why I say this is because, my friend, we live in a time right now where stuff that happens on a regular basis, I never thought would be happening. It happened years ago. Assassinations and, I mean, God knows what. And nobody seems to follow up or care about this. That's the part that is the most interesting. You see, we saw it with Charlie Kirk. We saw it with a lot of people. There are these Epstein. People today still believe that he took his own life. They believe this. People who believe it. And they are told flat out by Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, oh, don't worry. We've looked at the evidence and he absolutely did it himself. And we think, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. And the reason so that you know this is not because I'm just saying it, but because of the evidence that was found. Specifically, a fractured hyoid bone, which is the only bone that's not attached to anything. It's kind of like floating. It's under your mandible, under your jaw. Imagine you go all the way back, and it's there. This is kind of like looks kind of sort of like this. It's not your thyroid cartilage. That was fractured as well. But the point is you only get that through strangulation, asphyxiation, not this soft, loop of a ligature. Okay, I don't want to go through this again, but there's also petechial hemorrhaging. What I'm trying to tell you is that it is absolutely, positively, axiomatic 100% that this was homicide. Absolutely. But people are telling you, you don't understand something. They're telling you. Don't worry. So if anything happens to Candace, no one is going to go looking. All they're going to do is they're going to say she succumbed to the pressure. Like with Virginia Giuffre. What happened? I don't know. We still don't know. There's been no toxicology, no nothing. And if anything happens to Candace, like Virginia Giuffre, nobody's going to say anything. I don't know who's bought off. I don't know who's responsible. I don't know. So I'm not somebody who necessarily says these things just to be exaggerating. I'm not that way. Believe me. This is a dirty world. And what scares me is not the proliferation of these folks, but the proliferation of a group of people who don't seem to ask anything, who don't have any questions, who never follow up. So if something happens to Candace Owens, if one day, God forbid, she doesn't wake up, or if somebody fixes a particular scene, they're going to say she obviously, couldn't take the pressure. And she was also crazy. She was crazy. They do this all the time. She was crazy. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, I don't know. She has attacked everybody from Israel to TPUSA to Erica Kirk to the government to the CIA. So if anything happens, and you were to say, well, let's see, assuming that we eliminate the hypothesis of self-harm, which will most probably be advanced, who would have an interest in seeing her dispatched? How much time do you have? How much time do you have? You see this is why we have to worry about this. It's not so much that there are evil forces. It's that there are people in the world who don't care. They're not going to say anything. They're not going to react. They're not going to investigate. We don't investigate anything. So that's why I'm telling you right now, folks, pay attention. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we're supposed to live in a world where you can ask questions. I know this may sound strange. I know we've gotten away from this, but we have forgotten that we have an absolute right to ask anything. And asking questions does not in any way invalidate our position. Asking questions is not wrong. Being incredulous is to be suggested, to be promoted. This is what I don't understand. This is the critical part of this. This is what I cannot say enough to you. This is what we do as humans and as Americans. The next thing is that there are people in the world of this informational platform who are so jealous, so deranged, they can't handle any of this. Candace Owens is too big, too fast, and she didn't pay her dues. She didn't pay her dues. Who do you think she is? What's going on? Candace Owens didn't pay her dues. I don't know how this thing works. I don't know how, but I am telling you that what is so incredibly fascinating to me is that you've got Laura Loomer claiming to pick up the phone and calling Alex Jones and saying, "Hey Alex, let's work together. We have to do something to stop Candace Owens because she's going crazy." And then Laura Loomer says, "And if it wasn't for me, Alex wouldn't know this." And Alex says, "How dare you tell me that? Nobody tells me this. So then you have these battles. Then you've got a Tim Pool and a Steve Bannon and a Dorr. What's his name? Charlie Dorr, whatever his name is. You've got Tim Pool's mad at this one. Then we've got Megyn Kelly's jumping in. Laura Loomer doesn't like this one. Candace Owens is being called everything from an anti-Semite to crazy. And they're doing everything in their power. Everybody's coming after her. And what she has said is what thousands of people have said all over the world, up to and including those people who are Jewish. She goes after Zionists, Christian Zionists, and she goes after the government of Israel. I'm not here to argue the point. I'm here to argue the fact that she's got the right to say that. She has the right to say that. This is the most important thing in the world. She has the right to say this. And you are not an anti-Semite. You are not saying anything about Jewish people, Jewish faith, Judaism, if you have a problem with Bibi Netanyahu and or the government of Israel. This is axiomatic. This is something I can't explain in any other way, any clearer than what I'm saying now. This is what we're happening right now. And in this world of this platform, once the scrum starts, once the momentum is forced, once it starts, once the hate, the despising, the signal to dislike her, once it commences, it is over. All hell breaks loose. And that's where we are right now. And you're probably wondering, what is going on here? I never thought I'd be talking about Candace Owens this much. I think everything I thought, okay, we're done with it. No, it gets better. It gets more and more and more and more. And you don't have to necessarily agree with everything that she's saying. I've said it before. I do not agree with her position regarding Brigitte Macron and that particular vector as to her gender or whatever you want to call it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not in any way okay with that. For her own good. For her own good. Not that she doesn't, but she has every right in the world to say whatever she wants. Whether that's defamatory, one could argue, but that's what the courts are for. I don't want something to be precluded from discussion on multiple platforms because they're considered defamatory. Because then what are we going to do? Have a mini tribunal by a court to determine whether you can post something? I'm sorry, sir, you can't say that about the Yankees. Well, because that's defamatory. Who says that? Our pre-litigation X or Facebook tribunal that determines a priori whether what you are saying is considered defamatory or libelous? No. Once you get into that, it's called prior restraint, and that goes against the spirit of free speech. But the bottom line is simply this. What I'm trying to tell you more than anything else, what's so critical, they're going to do something to her. I'm worried about her. I'm seeing it right now. And I'm going to say this again. It is not what, how do I say this? It is not what I am worried about in terms of what the evil forces are going to impart. But if something is done, the lack of reaction, the tolerance, the acceptance, how people of our particular ilk will do nothing. Will do nothing to question it, to wonder about it, to bring any attention. Nothing will be done. Nothing. And it just will go the way of Epstein or Virginia Giuffre or the assassination attempt against the president. Whatever. We were making all these promises. We were going to get to the bottom of JFK, get to the bottom of RFK. Even Bobby Kennedy doesn't seem to be interested. Who killed his father? Thane Eugene Caesar. You know the name. What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? So, my friend, that's what I'm asking you to do. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you, seriously. Thank you for following this. This is critical stuff. We're also talking about a legal matter before it happens. So let me ask you to please subscribe to this channel. Like this video, which is very important. Like this video and make sure that you hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos, which are critical. But understand this. Do not dismiss this. This is about free speech. This is about threats. This is about a woman who is going against the biggest, most powerful forces on the planet. And if she wasn't this popular, nobody'd care one way or the other. They would just say, whatever she wants to say. But because she's so powerful, because she's so inhumane, that's a different story. And that's what we're talking about. Watch what they do. Look what they did to Alex Jones. Alex Jones knows better than anybody. This is what they do. When you're in the crosshairs, they will do everything, and they will be satisfied with nothing short of your complete and total ruination. That can be figurative, that can be financial, or it can be actual. Your actual expurgation, your ablation, your removal. Okay? Thank you, dear friend. Thank you for this. Thank you. Thank you for following. Please subscribe to Lionel Legal. And do me one big favor also, if you don't mind. Read our questions. Comment as you see fit.